The 2022 American football season is a little over 2 months old, and this year has brought with it many surprises, both in the National Football League and also at the collegiate level. In the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings have stormed out to a 7-1 start, building a comfortable lead over the Green Bay Packers, who were the preseason favorite to win the NFC Central. Meanwhile, in the second highest level of NCAA football, Hall of Famer Deion Sanders has led the Jackson State Tigers to an undefeated season thus far, launching them into the national top 10 at a record of 9-0. The sport of football is steeped in the most American of traditions, such as gathering with friends, enjoying fine beverages, and tailgating, all leading up to the raucous cheering that comes with watching your team partake in a violent battle over an acre of land. However, these aren't the only traditions practiced around the sport of football. Most people would be surprised to learn that with any great success story for the fans, something must always be taken in return, and this sacrifice is often in the form of a human life. In this video, we will discuss the recent passing of NFL coach Adam Zimmer. Adam was the son of Mike Zimmer, who used to be the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, but now works for Jackson State University. The name Zimmer has a famed history in the state of Minnesota. The city of Duluth is the birthplace of legendary singer-songwriter Bob Dylan, who was born with the last name Zimmerman. The date listed for Adam Zimmer's death was October 31st, but news of his passing did not reach mainstream media outlets until November 1st. November 1st was the same exact date that Bob Dylan's new book, titled The Philosophy of Modern Song, was published. Most people recognize October 31st as Halloween. The name Halloween is drawn from the ancient occultic holiday All Hallows' Eve, which is a high date on the Satanic calendar. Bob Dylan has long been rumored to have sold his soul to the devil for fame and fortune when he started his career. In fact, earlier this year at a concert, Dylan notably played the Grateful Dead song Friend of the Devil for the first time in 15 years. The devil just happens to be the 15th card in a tarot deck. Stories of sacrifice typically revolve around solar and lunar eclipses, a concept beginning with the New Testament, where the crucifixion of Jesus is accompanied by a sudden darkness that falls over the sky, akin to an eclipse. The 1961 film Barabbas even shot the crucifixion scene under a real-life total eclipse. The date April 3rd, 33 AD, which is when many historians believe the crucifixion happened, is even the same date as a lunar eclipse. Riddles are encoded into the length of time when measuring to dates that eclipses occurred. The numbers are drawn from not only the birthdays of connected parties, but also the gematria of their name. Gematria is a study as old as language itself, and with knowledge of these simple yet powerful ciphers, events on the world stage take on an entirely new shape. The new book from Bob Dylan, who won the Nobel Prize for Literature at the age of 75, and the death of Adam Zimmer both fell exactly 75 weeks before the next total solar eclipse, which passes over the United States. Using the standard alphabetic order, the name Bob Dylan sums to 75. During the last 10 years of his career, Adam Zimmer coached for 2 NFL franchises, the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals, both of which summed to 75 in reduction. In another significant form of gematria that takes capital letters into account, the name Bob Dylan sums to 148. This is also the ordinal value of Mendota Heights, the city where Adam is said to have died. His death on Halloween fell 148 days after his father Mike Zimmer's birthday, and using the reverse alphabetic order, both Mike Zimmer and Halloween equal 148. Mike now coaches alongside Deion Sanders at Jackson State, whose mascot is the Tigers. The Bengals are named after a type of tiger. The Bengals played in Super Bowl 56, which was the first NFL game to take place in the Year of the Tiger, following the Chinese New Year on February 1st. In the most significant extended method I teach, called Latin or Agrippa's Key, the word Tigers sums to 291. Adam Zimmer died 291 days after his 38th birthday. So what's special about this number, 38? Not only is this the gematria of death, killing, and murder, the number coded into the Murder by Numbers poster from 2002, but 38 is also the reduction value of Minnesota. Consider how Minnesota is abbreviated as MN, which are the two consonants in the word moon. In ancient Hebrew, a significant building block of modern language, the word moon has an ordinal value of 38. In English, the moon has gematria of both 36 and 99, the same digits found in Bob Dylan's full birth name, Robert Allen Zimmerman. His birthplace of Duluth, Minnesota, also connects to moon when abbreviated, 113. The Earth's radius is approximately 11/3 the size of the moon's. In standard Hebrew gematria, the word moon sums to 218. Duluth is home to the 218 phone dialing code. Measuring instead to Mike Zimmer's next birthday, it was a span of 218 days prior when Adam passed away. The word death is 218 in English. But what's so interesting is that this number is actually represented in both the English and Latin values of Deion Sanders' full name, Deion Lewin Sanders. 2 hours and 18 minutes on a clock is 138 minutes. Deion is the coach at Jackson State, which equals 138. So we saw the 218 dialing code in the northern half of Minnesota. The southern part of Minnesota has the 507 dialing code, representative of the number 57. In English gematria, the word moon sums to 57 in the alphabetic order. This is aligned with the moon's range of declination, which is 57 degrees from north to south. Notice how the word Halloween has gematria of 570 in the important Sumerian cipher, which multiplies the alphabetic order times 6. The word for eclipse even yields a 57 in Hebrew. Not only was Bob Dylan born exactly 570 lunar orbits before Adam Zimmer, but he was also born exactly 201 lunar orbits before Mike Zimmer. 201 is the ordinal value of Minnesota Vikings. But notice how moon is 21 in reduction. 21 is the number that Deion Sanders wore for his entire career until his comeback years later. At the moon's equator, its diameter is 2,160 miles. The number 216 is found in the gematria of both Year of the Tiger and Jackson State Tigers. Also the full name Michael Zimmer, 216 in reverse. The new Vikings head coach was hired on February 16th, the date that's typically written 216 here in the United States. Kevin O'Connell was born on May 25th of 1985, meaning that on the date of Adam Zimmer's death, he was exactly 463 lunar phases old. 463 is the 90th prime number. This is the ordinal value of not only the moon, but also the last name O'Connell. In fact, in standard gematria, Kevin O'Connell sums to 772. This was the Brown lunation number on the date he was born. Deion Sanders also has birth numerology connected to the moon. 8 plus 9 plus 19 plus 67 is 103, which is the 27th prime number. Not only is 27 the reverse value of the moon in reduction, but it takes the moon 27 days to orbit the Earth in relation to the stars in the sky. The number 103 also represents 13 in numerology, the number of lunar phases that occur every couple of years. Notice how the moon and 13 shared 99 gematria. There's a lot more to unpack here as well. Zimmer, whose name sums to 84, was born in the year 84. Here he has this synchronicity with Tigers, which equals 84. One of those teams being the Cincinnati Bengals, who have 84 gematria. This is all synced up with Deion Sanders, who has birth numerology of 84. And if you include the end date, Deion was 84 days after his 55th birthday when Adam Zimmer died. Deion Sanders equals 55. Jackson State University, 84. The number 84 is also connected to the eclipse code. The phrase solar eclipse equals 804. If you take just one from that number, you get 83, which is the Hebrew value of both total eclipse and solar eclipse. This was another number heavily coded in. Adam Zimmer died 8 months and 30 days into the year of the tiger. The date he died had primary numerology of 83, like the word murder. The name Deion Lewin Sanders in reduction also sums to 83, and if you don't include the end date, he died 83 days after Deion's birthday. Measuring to Deion's next birthday from Adam Zimmer's death was a span of 283 days. 283 is the Latin value of the moon. 283 is the 61st prime number, and the date that Zimmer died, Halloween, leaves 61 days on the year. There's even exactly 6,001 days between these two men's birthdays. To top this off, Adam was pronounced dead at 113, which is similar to his birthday of January 13th, or 113. His date of birth even had matching numerology with the gematria of 13. Notice how Bob Dylan's full name, as well as the team that Deion Sanders coached, both have gematria of 117. Again, Deion Sanders with that 103 birth numerology, that's the ordinal value of Adam Zimmer, who died just one day after 10:30 on the calendar. 13, a number unfortunately connected to human sacrifice and ritual human sacrifice.